Hi Tanya, finally a very warm welcome to Curly Tales.
Hi Kamya, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. I wish we could have met in person, but I'm really glad to see you.
Thank you so much. I've been
Yes.
seeing your amazing pictures and videos on Instagram from Milan. How was that trip?
Oh, Milan was amazing. I did not anticipate, but it has now become one of my favorite cities in the world. There's just so much culture, so much happening in the city, and it's such a vibrant place to live in. I wish I could just teleport myself right now as we are speaking of it.
Tell us about the preps that went behind planning this trip.
So obviously, when it comes to packing, you have to bear in mind that you have to dress fashionably. So that was something which was on my mind because besides all the beautiful things about Milan, it's also the fashion capital of the world. As you may know, it's one of the 4 places where even the fashion week happens. So I went just a week before fashion week and I wanted to dress fashionably. That was my priority. So I carried a lot of really nice neutrals, very chic dresses, things that I could dress down and dress up very easily from day to night. For my visa, of course, I got the Schengen visa, which permits you to travel to all 29 European countries in the Schengen region. But my interest was only visiting Italy and visiting Milan. For my flights, I booked with Lufthansa, which was a very, very comfortable experience. Kamya, you may not know this, but I've recently turned vegan. So I was very apprehensive whether or not I'll get good vegan food on flight. So I pre-booked my meal with Lufthansa and I have to say it was so delicious and it exceeded my expectations and how. I wanted the flight to never end, honestly.
Tell us about your first impression of walking into Lufthansa aircraft, getting yourself seated in business class. How was the experience and the first impression, so to say?
Everything was very beautiful looking, very minimalist and beautiful looking. So I loved the interiors of the aircraft. We were given a lot of amenities and we also had good welcome drinks. So I chose a wine as my welcome drink. And I love how the staff pampered us from the very get-go.
Okay.
I also think that the amenities were very classy and very well put together. We had all amenities from L'Occitane and this pouch which was from Porsche Design. So everything was very minimal, very aesthetic, good smelling, and it just elevated my mood instantly.
I want to know what are the kind of food options that one could enjoy while being in flight for Lufthansa.
Because I took my flight from Bombay, I feel the chefs did a really good job with the Indian meals. And if you go and pre-book the meal before your journey, you will notice that they have so many options from Hindu vegetarian to vegan to vegetarian to Jain, everything. So I would highly recommend that, especially if you're an Indian flying, you should pre-book your meal. If you book a Hindu vegetarian meal, everything is going to be eggless and you don't have to then double check with the staff. And if you're vegan like me, or if you have any other dietary restriction, like if you're gluten-free, you should pre-book your meal. And that's the number one tip I give to everyone. But especially on the Lufthansa aircraft, I was surprised with the number of options and the varieties, and everybody around me seemed to be having such a good time with their meal. I also was very, very impressed.
What about entertainment on board? Were there enough options?
Okay, so my flight number 1 was about 9 hours. And I was, like I said, I wish it was longer because I had such a good time. On board, there were a lot of options, from audio options to TV shows to movies. I browsed through the options and there were some really good classic movies, some really good hits. Of late, all the movies that have been in the news, they were all present on board.
How was your experience when you landed in Milan?
And as soon as I landed in Milan, I was pretty fresh. I just wanted to be out and about. I had the whole day ahead of me because I ended up taking a nighttime flight. So it felt like, wow, I'm in a new country and ready to explore. My hotel was also very close to the Duomo. So as soon as I got off at that location and I saw the Duomo, I was gobsmacked, okay? It's so impressive, so beautiful, such a massive structure. And the Gothic architecture on the facade, it feels like it really hits you that, wow, this is such a stunning structure. So as soon as I saw that and I saw my hotel, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to be out of the hotel right away.
And given that you've been traveling solo for so long, how is it when you are actually traveling with people?
I think the good thing about solo travel is that it fills your cup so much in terms of what you want to do and how you want to experience travel, that when you're traveling with somebody else or in a group or even with family, I feel like it's all about giving them a good time for me. So if I'm traveling with a friend, for example, recently I was traveling with my best friend. And I was telling her that, listen, you don't have to stress about it. And she wanted to have this perfect itinerary plan. And I told her, listen, baby, don't worry, we are just here to have fun with each other.
Whenever I travel with a group of people, I have this major FOMO. I don't want to miss out on any place.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's never enough traveling that one can do. But the only
Yeah.
thing is that I feel like I can always come back.
Maybe this is the only time I'm coming here, and I don't know when else will I get a chance. You see these two different perspectives, and I think this travel is really like that, and it's so different to everyone.
Yes.
But let's talk about Milan, and I'm very curious to know about three main aspects. One, of course, is fashion. Two is food, and third is art and culture. Okay, let's first talk about fashion.
So while packing, I think even I made a little bit of this mistake in not realizing what Milanese fashion is all about. I thought that it's all about just putting on a nice piece of outfit and putting on nice jewelry. As long as it looks cohesive and well put together, you're well dressed. But I think Milanese fashion is very unique in its style because it's very, I would say, very sophisticated, very elegant. It's not about putting on the best outfit. It's about putting it all together in a way that you just come across as a very sophisticated person. So it's all about power dressing, I would say, and to a great extent playing. It's not very bright colors or very, I think most of Europe I would say is like that. But Milan in particular, and they will probably use a pop of color in their outfits every once in a while just to make it also stand out. So I went to the Cinque Vie district with some insider friends of mine. Like Lucia is also a creator and she's also a friend. So she took me there and we went to a lot of boutique stores. And the boutique stores, Kamya, you have to experience them. They were so beautiful. The way they were also decked up, the way they were also dressed, the way the mannequins and the windows looked, and the way the colors were positioned inside the stores, everything on the hanger, everything felt like it was a lot, but it was also, everything had a purpose.
Yeah.
Just for fashion, if you're a fashion buff, just go and experience fashion.
Amazing. What about food? I'm a foodie. I want to know what kind of food do you get there?
All right. So traditionally, Milanese food is very meaty and very cheesy and very carby, you can say.
Okay.
All the dishes over there are very different from the rest of the regions. And you will find a lot of nice pastas over there, a lot of good meat dishes over there. But since I'm vegan, obviously I refrain from eating a lot of those traditional dishes.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that I did find alternatives of everything. But what really impressed me was the wine scene over there. So I went to this it was amazing, Kamya. So I went to this one place which is called Signor Vino. It's in the Navilli district of Milan. And that whole place, it was actually a wine cellar initially, and they've converted that into a restaurant now. And the kind of, you get from the floor to the ceiling, there are just these wine racks, and you can pick up anything from over there and try it. And I was thinking to myself, it'll take a lifetime to experience all the good wines over here. The carbonara pasta over there was beautiful. The gelato, okay, there are so many good gelato shops in Milan. And I think nowadays the culture is such that you have everything which is traditional as well, modern as well. You also have poke bowls in Milan. You also have really good salads, really good Mexican food, really good, obviously, Italian traditional food. So I'll have a tough time selecting just one dish, but I would say the breakfast over there is such a big scene. So if you can just pick up a nice croissant over there, which is filled with the cream, which is a very traditional Milanese kind of breakfast, or even Italian breakfast with a nice cappuccino or a nice coffee, I think that encapsulates my experience of Italian food.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's talk about art and culture then, Tanya.
From my journey, I was already feeling quite inspired, and I knew that Milan is one of the prime destinations with Lufthansa, and it's going to be one hell of a journey because I'm also visiting Milan with the intention of meeting up with insiders and experiencing the destination in a way that's not very touristic. It has a very strong intent behind it that I want to experience art and culture, the food and the fashion of the city in the most inspired way possible. I saw Roman ruins in Milan, which were entirely, the entire place felt like it was just open for me because it was right in the middle of the city in the Cinque Vie district. And my friend took me over there, and she was like, "Oh, this is like a Roman ruin," and I was surprised that it was just there in the middle of the city, just casually. Those are the kind of things you put in a museum, but to me it felt like the entire city was like a museum, because
Wow.
they display their architecture, their art, their ruins just in the midst of their modern buildings, and to me that felt like, wow, that's such a good start to my day already.
Wow. Okay, now for our viewers who are actually planning a trip to Milan, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you can help me with some quick answers to this, okay?
Sure, done. Let's do that.
How many days would one need for a trip to Milan?
2 days minimum, but I would recommend at least 4 days if you want to experience everything from art and culture, fashion to the food.
Which are the must-visit places in Milan?
Okay, the Duomo. I haven't mentioned this yet, but the rooftop is also accessible, and it's about 250 stairs to go to the rooftop, or you can also take an elevator if you have somebody who's not able to climb stairs with you. And the rooftop is a great experience. You can see the entire city. Then there's the Vittorio Emanuele II mall, the shopping complex. And if you can also stay inside over there, there's a very good hotel over there which is called Gallery Vic Milano. I actually stayed over there, and it was such a stunning balcony which opens up into the mall area. Amazing. Then in the same area, you can visit Villa Reale, which is also stunning and has some of the most authentic and appreciable artwork housed inside. And Fondazione Prada, also beautiful. And if you go to the Porto Nuovo, which is the newer district of Milan, you can see Bosco Verticale and also visit some of the new age buildings, the new age malls. These are some of the must-dos in Milan, I would say.
Wow, you're quite
And ride the tram.
Okay, you're quite an insider now. We are getting all the inside scoop to all of these places. How expensive is it?
Let's talk about stay first. So if you
Okay.
book a hotel in the very, very central region of Milan, which is closer to the Duomo, I would say a good apartment or a good hotel room would cost anything from, let's say, 25,000 a night to almost 80,000-90,000 a night. So especially in the peak tourist season, it can be even more than that. It can also touch 1 lakh a night, which is very, very exorbitant. But a good way of minimizing the cost on stay is if you stay in just outside of the main central area, that will substantially bring down the cost. And I think a stay per night can cost you anywhere between 10,000 to 30,000 a night. But Milan is one of the more expensive cities to stay at, so bear this in mind and budget it accordingly if you're planning a trip to the city.
Now, as a fellow travel blogger, I have some questions for you. Okay, it's
All right,
never
let's
have
do
I
this.
Ever. Do you have
Okay.
like a cup of water or anything with you, any coffee or anything that you can sip on? For everything that you have to take a sip.
All right, I have a glass of water. Okay.
So let's begin.
Yes.
Never have I ever missed a flight because I was too busy taking pictures or videos at the airport.
Never. No.
But have you ever missed a flight? Just in general.
I have missed a flight just once, and that was not because I was taking pictures.
Okay.
That was the only time, and I think it was because I overslept in my hotel room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just too comfy and I was too tired.
Never have I
Yes.
ever been mistaken for a local in another country.
Oh yes, I have.
Yeah?
Mm.
Tell us more.
I was in Oman, and a lot of people mistook me for a local and did not realize that I'm just from India. So I think that was one time. And also, I think in Mauritius, I was often mistaken for a Mauritian because a lot of people over there are also of Indian origin.
Yes.
So that is the next place where I was constantly mistaken for being a local.
Never have I ever stayed at an airport overnight because of a delay.
Kamya, so many times. It's almost shocking how much I've slept at the airport. I think if I can count the nights, it's going to be more than 10 at least.
Really? Okay. Never have I ever been upgraded to first class on a flight, but free of cost.
Oh, I have.
Really? Okay.
And twice this year. Kamya, twice this year.
Lucky. How did that happen?
Yes. I just randomly got upgraded, and one time I was with my dad. So we both got upgraded to first class together. It was the best feeling ever.
Wow. Okay.
Never have I ever eaten something without knowing what it was.
No. I've always asked
No,
what
okay.
it is and then eaten. Because when you go to places like Thailand or China,
Yeah.
you don't want to take any chance.
You know, before I turned vegan, Kamya, I used to eat a lot of weird things
Okay.
intentionally, with intention. Like I've also tried mocha worms in Africa or silkworms in the
Oh.
Northeast and all kinds of really weird things. And now I've turned vegan.
Was the taste so bad that you were compelled to turn into a vegan?
Yeah, I guess. That's what I'm going to say to everyone. That's my reason.
And did you also meet Ishan while traveling?
So Ishan, not really. I met him while actually filming a video for a dating app. So it makes for a really interesting
Okay.
story. And our first date was baking a cake together. And my video idea was that I'm going to take. I was going to showcase how can you go on a first date, which is not a restaurant. So you do unique things together to just get to know the person on your first date. And we were baking a cake together on our first date for a video that I was filming for a dating app.
The video came true, is it? Oh my god.
Never have I ever visited a place so remote that there was no Wi-Fi at all.
There was no Wi-Fi, there was no network, and this was recently on a trip to Arunachal Pradesh.
Same.
Yeah, like I actually, there's this show that I'm doing which is called Sunday Se Aate Hain. And
Acha.
it's basically about the Indian Army, where I'm visiting various borders of India and spending a day or two with the soldiers there. And
How nice! Wow.
So this
Okay.
particular border is so close to China. It's Kibiktu and Dichu, and there's literally no network. So I couldn't make any phone calls, no messaging, nothing. And I can't even imagine how our Indian soldiers are actually living there. Zero connectivity.
Yeah.
In fact, even getting there, it took me 2 days to reach that border. But trust me, it's been like a
Oh.
life-changing experience for me to spend so much time with the Indian Army.
You know, I come from an army family, so I'm so proud you're doing this.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so Tanya,
Yes.
before we wrap, a quick game of this or that. I'm going to give you some choices. Choose one.
All right, let's
Okay?
do it. Okay.
So, beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay, city exploring or nature hiking?
Nature hiking.
Okay, are you an early riser or a night owl?
Early riser, 5:30 a.m.
Every day?
Almost. Unless I have had a late night the previous day of meeting with someone or meeting friends or something, but mostly early riser.
Traits of a successful person: wake up early. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's a cliche, but I guess it works.
Yeah. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. Adventure activities or relaxing spa therapy?
Adventure activities.
Okay. Road trip or flying?
Flying.
Okay.
I think it's more efficient. Sorry.
Okay. Cultural sites or food markets?
Cultural sites.
Backpacking or luxury travel?
Oh my gosh, this one's going to be so hard. I think off late luxury.
Yeah, I know. Once you taste luxury, it's a bit difficult to go back to backpacking.
It is. I think backpacking every once in a while is okay, but I think luxury traveling is just so comforting, so good. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Okay. This one's going to be tough too. Okay. Traveling with a loved one or solo travel?
Oh my gosh. I would say, okay, traveling with a loved one.
Yeah.
While solo traveling is amazing, you miss traveling with a loved one.
Tanya, it was wonderful talking to you. And of course, now I'm inspired to plan a trip to Milan ASAP. And of course, by Lufthansa, given your experience, I also want to try it.
Thank you so much for having me, Kamya. It was such a good conversation, and I really enjoyed meeting with you virtually. And I hope we plan something together very soon. And
Definitely.
maybe even travel together. And next time you plan a trip to Milan, ask me for all the recommendations in person as well. And for all the food and dining recommendations from India, Middle East, and all over the world, subscribe to Curly Days.
And subscribe to Tanya Khanija as well.
Thank you. Bye.